Hi, this is Rabbi Chaim Coffin. Welcome to our 177th installment of the Torah portion of the week. We are holding by Parshas Behaloscha. Behaloscha speaks about the menorah, speaks about the consecration of the Levites, speaks about the Paschal offering in the desert if they couldn't be there, right? If they were impure and they couldn't sacrifice. Speaks about different divine signs when the Jewish people traveled. The trumpets, breaking order of the camp. A lot of different things. So Torah tells us, Book of Numbers, chapter 11, right? Jewish people complain, right? Torah tells me, chapter 11, verse 4, the rabbis among the cultivation are craving, children of Israel wept again. Who's going to feed us? Remember the fish we ate in Egypt free of charge. Cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, garlic. But now our life is parched. There's nothing. We have nothing to anticipate but the manna. So what does Torah tell me? Torah tells me very simply that they complain. They're missing the food. They want meat. God says, oh, you want meat? I have meat coming out of your nose. Right, coming out of your ears, you'll be so sick of meat. But the question is, what are they complaining about? Imagine Egypt. Egypt we compare to Auschwitz. Right? Most of the Jewish people died there. 80%. If 80% of the people that died there, what are they thankful they had the fish? Watermelon, cucumbers. What are they thinking? Going back to Auschwitz, I remember that water that we used to get for soup, right? I remember, the few scraps we got, but at least we had melon. We had other things we didn't have to work hard for. They gave it to us. Well, what's the complaint? Talking about the greatest generation in the history of man. Generation saw God face to face at Mount Sinai. They heard him speak. They survived the miracles of what happened in Egypt. What's the deal with the fish? What's the deal? What are they missing? Right? Simple question. Very, very simple question. So, the manna itself was whatever they wanted it to be. In other words, they wanted it to taste like fish, tastes like fish. They wanted it to taste like meat, tastes like meat. Dessert, tasted like that. And they get it every day. Get a double portion on Shabbos. So they're in the desert. We'll give you a very superficial answer. Again, these parts are hard to understand, right? Next week it's into the spies. Week after that it's Korach. And a lot of these parts are hard to understand at face value. Try and make sense out of it. Simple thing is that they're living in the desert. Now, anyone who's ever been in the desert, there's nothing there. No oasis. All you see is sand, dust. More sand, more dust. Reminds me, I was much younger, and I was in Eilat. I went to Egypt. Went to visit Egypt for a week. And I was on this bus, going there, and you keep seeing signs. 300 kilometers to Cairo. 200 kilometers to Cairo. 100 kilometers to Cairo. And you look around, it's all dust. It's all sand. 50 kilometers, 10 kilometers. Okay, then all of a sudden you see a city. I got to know it. Everything else, like dust. What did the Jewish people see in the desert? That's what they saw. They didn't see anything else. So what happened? The food doesn't come. Old Mother Hubbard, nothing left in the cupboard. What's going to be? How am I going to eat? What if we're not worthy? that the man should come, that the man should be there. They died. Very simple, they would die. God was working on their emunah muscles. Their belief in Him, their faith in Him. And He wanted them to be at a much higher level. And then they wouldn't have complained with the spies. They would have gone straight into the land of Israel. But they had to go roundabout way till the generation died out. 40 years. They had to go in a roundabout way. So God wanted them to work hard in their belief in Him. They didn't think they were on the level. But there's something deeper here. They were living at a very high level. Now, even though they're living at a very high level, they're still human. They still want some enjoyment. Even if you tell me the man came every day, tasted like whatever they wanted, after a while it's the same thing. Doesn't matter, okay? Today's going to taste like pizza. Tomorrow it's going to be like falafel. Next day it's going to be like steak. But if you eat something like that, even though it tastes like that, is it really steak? It's not really steak. You get the enjoyment like it is. Come on, the Jewish people, and say, okay, the man is great. It's an unbelievable thing. Right? Unbelievably miraculous. But we want to eat the real thing. We want to eat really what it is, not what it tastes like. We'll take it, we'll grill it, we'll cook it however we want. Right? The problem is they don't want to rely on these miracles. They don't want to be at that level. The lack of faith, that's what it is. At their level. Because the reality is, with all the miracles they saw, there is no question. There's zero question. What are they complaining about? Hasn't God taken care of their needs up until this point? Okay, they had to be tremendous self-sacrifice. True. So what? They didn't want to live at that level anymore. Maybe they thought, we're not worthy. And then what's going to be of us? We'll die in the desert. So why should we have to do that? At least let us have the food that we knew. Not saying we want to go back. But they said that also. Thinking that they want, it's not taken literally. That they wanted to go back. They had a desire to go back. Because they wanted to go back to what they considered normalcy. What's normalcy? They live in a place, they can get food. Okay, they were oppressed. Doesn't matter, they could get food there. They're animals. Fish. Vegetables. In the desert, there's no oasis. Okay, they had the well of Miriam for water. But in the desert, there is nothing there. Miles and miles and miles going from here like ping pong, here, there. So they're like, what's going to be? Can't live like this forever. We're going to live in a normal place. We're going to live where we can hunt. We get food. Make our own food. Maybe rely on God a little bit less. But this is a test. This is a test to see if they're going to hold by what God says. God's raising them to higher spiritual levels. That's really the answer. And they didn't want it anymore. They didn't want to be tested like that. Imagine, where the money's running out. Money's running out. You need to buy food, but you need the budget. And you don't know what's going to be. You 100% don't know what's going to be. That can be tremendously disconcerting. How much do I buy? What do I buy? What's the most important thing to buy? All right, people on a budget, on a small budget, you got to make do. It's more important to have chicken than to have side dishes. More important for other things. It's hard decisions to make. We are living in a time of plenty. That's all true. But in the end, some people can be very hard. So when you're limited, you can't buy what you want. You're going to buy what's most practical. What's going to last longer. Not an easy way to live. But at least they feel in control. At least they had something before. Even though the host country treated them like dirt. To go back to being enslaved, of course that's not what they want. But they don't want to be tested in this way. They want to go back to a normal living. They can do things on their own. They have amenities they need. But isn't God taking care of their needs? God's taking care of their needs, miraculously. All true. But they didn't think they could stand up to the test of being on that level that whole time. So they said it's going to give us meat. We're going to get these things. Because they missed it. They missed the comfort. They missed not having to live on a high spiritual level. Not that they want it easy. Not they're saying, I just want to sit back and sip pina coladas. Not saying that. So what are they saying? They're saying, I don't have to fight for my belief in God that much. I have it. I believe Him. He's the Creator. He sustains us. But they want to do things on their own. They don't want to be tested in this way. Going back to what they know, even if it was hard, is easier than this. Because one slip up, you're dead in the desert. Right? Not that they didn't believe God could sustain them. Certainly believe that. Question is, are they worthy? Are they worthy of being sustained? Right? Yaakov Avinu says, before he goes to Esav, he says, God, I want you to take care of my needs. God says, no problem, I'll take care of your needs, I'll protect you. And he asks him again. Commentaries ask, why is he asking twice? Yaakov should have only asked once. So what do the commentaries answer? Commentaries answer that he was afraid he was going to sin. Because if he sins, then he doesn't get the divine protection. So it could be people in the desert, if they're not going to get divine protection, then at least let them be able to sustain themselves in a natural way. Instead of going through this. Not to say going back to Egypt, yeah, we had a great rocking time. Unbelievable. Pharaoh, I miss him. Gonna give him a big hug when I see him. No, that wasn't the case. They weren't telling to go back for the sake of going back. They wanted to go back to normalcy. Isn't that what everybody wants now? Had enough of this virus. Enough of wearing masks. Social distancing. Is people still doing it? It's hard. Mass are uncomfortable. Can't do what we want to do. We want to go back, quote unquote, to a normal life. At least there'll be sporting events, there'll be other things going on. But obviously God doesn't want that. God wants us to think. Wants to be introspective. Wants you to see what's going on around you. He wants you to get the message. And he wants you to understand what the point of life is. It's not about just feeding your stomach. We already know that's forbidden. To be a glutton. Right? Book of Leviticus chapter 19. Kedoshim to you. You should be holy. Says the Ramban, yeah. What it means is, there are plenty of things you're allowed to eat. Doesn't mean you should be a glutton. Or if you drink, you should be an alcoholic. Am I allowed to get benefit? Yes. We're not allowed to abuse it. But in a certain way, they don't want to feel totally out of control. That everything is based on every single action thought that they have. Because if their thoughts go astray, God can just say, no. Only the people that I want to survive will survive. And those I don't won't. So you ask, but weren't they at a very high level? Didn't they see all the plagues? Didn't they understand 80% of the Jewish people didn't come out? They understood that. What are they telling God? They're telling God, Yesh Gvul. There's a limit to what we can take. We don't want to be put up on that pedestal anymore. It's way too hard. We want a normal life. Doesn't mean God's not going to be part of their life. But they don't want to live miraculously. Because what happens if they stumble? I mean, look what happened with the spies. They think they couldn't overcome them. Couldn't God take care of them? Could have. Could have taken care of the giants. Right? We'll go on record. God could have beaten the giants. But what? Where's their trust in God? Where's the belief in God? It was there. But maybe they would have done something to negate it. Maybe they would have sinned. If they would have sinned, they don't have the same divine protection. If they don't have the same divine protection, then they won't survive. And if God wants them at this high level, a minor infraction, they'll starve to death. That could be what they thought. Because when you're close to the king, minor infraction, you could die. If you're far away from the king, no big deal. You do something wrong, as long as it's not egregious, you're good. But if you're close to the king, a minor infraction can cost you. So how are they able to uphold that high level the whole time? If they wanted it would have been easier. And say, let us live not in a miraculous way. Now the only thing is, God wanted them to live to a higher standard. A much higher standard. Because the more miraculous they live, the easier it is to go straight to the land of Israel. But obviously it didn't happen. They complained. Where's the meat? What about the melon, the fish? It's not about physical things per se. It's not just giving in to desire. Right? That's not the issue here. It's a psychological issue. And the psychological issue is they don't want to be put up on this pedestal anymore. They want God to free the reins a little bit. Doesn't mean they're not going to keep the law. Doesn't mean they won't do what he says. It just means that for every single second of every day, you got to be so careful. And they don't want to live up to that anymore. For them, it was too hard. Because we mentioned when you're close to the king, could get burnt. Can easily get burnt. So that's the message. Let us live a normal life. That's the message people want today. Let me go back to being normal. Screw this virus. I want to live a normal life. I want to go back to what I had. Well, I don't think that's going to happen for a while. But it's a similar idea. God wants us to get the message while we're in confinement. And if we don't get the message, it's bad. And if we don't do what we're supposed to do, there could be a second wave. Nobody wants to wait in line again. Just for food, for other things. It's pain. You're right. It's a big pain in the neck. I remember waiting in line to go to a grocery store. And someone said, grew up in Russia. Grew up in Russia, this was the norm for bread. You wouldn't even know. You could be there for 3 hours, not even know if you get bread. We say, there's food. But you got people not used to this at all. They have to wait, wear masks, have gloves. It's inconvenient, 100% inconvenient. Who's making it inconvenient? God's making it inconvenient. We see social distancing, masks, shutdown. It's worked. People are relaxing the standard. Still the Ministry of Health says you got to wear masks and all that. Why people aren't doing it? It's a good question. But now you're seeing more cases. We'll see what's going to be. So what is normalcy? Isn't the fact every day we live, we breathe, isn't that miraculous? Pretty miraculous. The way the body's set up and all the other things, miraculous. We can't think and say, I'm the same person. Before and after this whole thing. How can you be the same? How can you not have a higher reality? This is really serious. It's life and death. Got hundreds of thousands of people dying. Doesn't matter, you tell me, maybe the majority of people are old or have other conditions. Maybe all be true. But the young people have died also. It's a pretty serious thing. Even though people are taking it pretty lightly right now. But normalcy means serving God the way we need to. Understanding and getting the message. Nobody wants to go back in lockdown. But if you relax the measures too much, no social distancing, people barely wearing masks, could have come back in a vengeance, could be. That's what to be afraid of, true. So telling you, be vigilant. Go outside, you wear a mask. Go to a store, you wear gloves. That's what you got to do. But to say it's all about desire, no, that's not the case here. It's a case of not wanting to live on a higher standard every single second. Because that is hard. And look what they've already gone through. They saw the plagues. They saw the miracles. Coming out of Egypt. Saw the sea split. Giving the Torah, seen a lot of things. So I would think they're on such a high level. So what's the problem? So for however long God wants them to be on this level, they'll continue. No biggie. They've done it up until this point, let them continue. But the evil inclination says, with all the miracles, I still want to live a normal life. I want to eat normal food. This is miraculous food. I don't want to be miraculous anymore. I want to go being, as they were saying, I'm aging myself. As they were saying, happy days, being humdrum. Go back to normal days. But that's the opposite of what we want over here. It's only the opposite of what God wants today. Even though everyone's going to scream, I want to go back to a normal life. To the way it was before Corona. Is there such a thing? Will it ever come back? But it's a reminder. The reminder, as my Rebbe said, the mantra is, anyone's having problems with faith in God, what do you say? Many times a day you actualize and you say God is in charge. God runs the world. But I have to serve Him regardless. Whether it's easier, whether it's harder. And this is the problem. Saying I want to go back to normal even if it was bad for me, even if it caused other things, it's not what God wants. Doesn't want to hear about meat and cucumbers and all that because he didn't get the message. God took you out, made you into a nation, gave you the Torah. Wants you to work on that belief and continue that belief and live a miraculous way. It's what the people say, Adkan. So we can't handle it anymore. It's too much. And what did God say? Not too much. You can do it. But it's hard. You know, come Yom Kippur. Person fasts like the angels. We can be angels for 26 hours. After that, okay, it's hard. Why should we put to that standard to try and live at that level? You won't. But God understood. The more we work at it, the more we pass this, no matter what situation we're in, we're not going to have any issues. Because we understand all comes from God. All the good, all the bad. What did Nachamish Gamzu? He said, Gamzu v'toiva. Nachamish Gamzu, the Rebbe Akiva, said everything is good. I mean, he suffered tremendously. Rabbi Akiva said, Kol David Rachmano v'toivavid. Everything God does is, is for the good. Nachamish Gamzu went further. He said, it's all good, even if it looks bad, even if it's hard. So basically what they're saying over here, my language, is we want to chill. We want it a little bit easier. Does that mean they're shirking responsibility? Serve God? No. Doesn't mean they're shirking responsibility. It just means they want to chill a little bit. And the Torah is telling me no such thing. Torah is telling me you're a Jew day in and day out. You got to serve God with all your heart, with all your soul every day. Every single day. Whether it's easy, whether it's hard. You got to go in the right path. They're saying, God, I want you to cut me some slack. Doesn't mean my level's going to go down per se. Just means I want normalcy. And God says no such thing. I want you always striving, always growing, always working on this, because the stronger you get, the easier it will be for me to send you to the promised land. But you got to get the message. You're in the desert. You got to get the message. They didn't get the message. They stay in the desert for 40 years. Till that generation dies out. So what's the message for us? The message for us is that day in and day out, whether we're tired, whether we're not, you got to pray. You got to make blessings, right? If you're a Jew, you got to keep the Sabbath, you got to keep holidays. You got to strive every day to be the best. And you got to be the best. Now, there are days you'll tell me, I'm tired. I just want to relax, a little bit of I don't want to think about anything. Want to read a book? Want to veg? What does God tell us? My language, no days off. There are no days off. Torah is 365 days a year. Mitzvahs, chesed, right? Acts of loving kindness, prayer, musar, consistency. That's normalcy. Okay, you have ups, you have downs, different things. All true. But in the end, it's about striving. In the end, it's about working hard every single day. It's them, meaning the Jewish people, saying, I want a day off. Part of a day off. I don't want to think so hard. God's saying no days off. And no days off means you strive every single day. You don't know what's going to be tomorrow. Right? You repent every day. You don't know what's going to be tomorrow. No days off means you are the Energizer Bunny. You're going and striving and going and striving. And you got to be into it. You got to work hard not to get burnt out of it. But it's constant. It's every day. The Torah is telling me, forget about all this. God says you belong to me. Your obligation is to serve me. You're in my army. When you're in my army, God says, no days off. What about Shabbos? Shabbos to rejuvenate? Yeah, it's also about learning Torah. Not about sleeping the whole time. It's about rejuvenation. People make a mistake. And they say, I just have to chill. It's just too intense. Right? So I heard a number of rabbis say, okay, so if you can't think so hard, it's at night and your brain's tired, learn something lighter. Learn something lighter, don't turn off the brain. Because when you turn off the brain, you take 2 steps backwards. It comes on the Torah. It says, forget about what happened in Egypt. Forget about all that. You're in the desert, you're mine. You belong to me, God says. And you'll serve me under any circumstances. I know what I'm doing. Right? And as God says, you're going to serve to the best of your ability. You're going to do what I want you to do. And what does that mean for us? Means for us 100%. You're going to go in that path. No days off. So I remind everyone I have a class every Tuesday 9 o'clock New York time on Duties of the Heart, speaking about humility. 2 Q&As, 10 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday, Thursday, New York time, 5 o'clock Israel time. Conversion classes, the Tanakh talk every Monday night. My time, 9 o'clock Israel time, 2 o'clock Eastern time. And Pirkei Avos, Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, 2:30 Eastern time. Anyone wants any information on any of these classes, you can find me on Facebook, Beyond Orthodox Conversion Judaism. You can send me an email, rabbichaimkoffman@gmail.com, RABBICHAIMCOFFMAN @gmail.com. Wishing everyone a great Shabbos.